Welcome to American Bob, the poorest YouTube creator. And as peer specialist Nate said, get away from those young girls, get your woman your own age. Go to Sexual Anonymous. And what else did he say? I don't know. I want to talk about abuse. I just saw something about some girls that are kids, I don't know, that were abused in a home. It is a sad, sad situation where we don't have ideal parents by no means. My dad put me through a lot of emotional abuse. Basically, as a child, I swallowed in it and understood from my father that I was no good, that I'd never make it in life, that I'd always fail. And he did a good job. I did actually go through life that way. It wasn't, as I said, two people. My When I tried to get disability, and the PhD put me through some testing saying, have you ever been hit over the head? Had a head injury. You see, guys, like I said, all females saw me as a loser, including my wife. My ex-wife saw me as a loser. She told me, my own wife told me, you're nothing but a deadbeat bum. What is wrong with you? Why can't you hold down a job, make good money, be a husband, be a father? You see, I don't understand my life. I never will understand it. I tried to mask out all the pain that I had when I was a kid. My mother beat me with a belt. It's no big deal. Other people go, oh my God, that really happened to you? You got to understand, that's the way to discipline your children. You either slap them upside the head, kick them around a few times, throw them down on the floor and kick them. That was basically the way I saw my life. It is, like I said, I lived on a dysfunctional street. You know, Police were around there quite a few times. For me to get over this, I haven't. I really haven't, guys. I never got over my dad's pressuring me to be a loser. And in life, you know, I get a little bit emotional, but it's true. I am pretty much a retard and stupid, ignorant, don't know things. Was it my father's fault? Not really. Not really. I hated my father for quite some time till I realized that once I found out the type of man he wasn't the monster I thought he would be. You know. But I look over my life, I look over the women and what they said to me were very true. You're a loser. One girl said, you are very handsome, very, very cute, and wonderful in bed. But you said you're going nowhere in your life. I want a man that's going somewhere. My girl I fell in love with, Valerie, many, many years ago in my 20s, I loved her. I mean, hook, line, and sinker. I got excited when she would come home. She broke up with me, and I often wondered why. And then it dawned on me, because I'm a bum. I'm not going anywhere in life, and still not going anywhere in life at all, period. I'm not. When you have to see yourself as a failure in life, you know, and the fact, how am I going to get a female? I'm going to tell my peer specialist, Duma, you just don't understand my life. You don't understand the fact that my dad was right. I am a loser. You know, what have I done in life to bring out my success? I've really given it a lot of thought. I own my own business. I pretty much did the books the best I could. And I was doing a pretty good job. I had a dream. But see, my ex-wife wanted me to work a 8 to 5 job and be the best that I could be. I got into selling cars, and guess what? That self-doubt. I remember I had a salesman come to me and says, "Man, I don't get it. You can talk to us and you're all that, but you go around people wanting to buy a car, you kind of scrabble." You see, I've done everything. I have. The reason I'm making this vlog is you may be one too that has some sort of disability and you've gone through life and nobody truly loves you. Nobody does. You feel alone. For me, my health gets worse every day. But my whole thing, and please be on, yeah, it's on. My whole thing is that I don't ask for your pat me on the back, it's going to be okay, Bob. I don't expect you to say there's a miracle in Jesus Christ. You know, guys, like I said, I have been scripted and lived a life of a loser man. And I can tell you straight up, there's no women from 30 all the way up to 80 that wants a man that's a loser. No good. You know, I can, let's say I date a woman and she goes, um, let's do this, some kind of intellect thing, you know. I have been good at fooling people to make them think that I'm a very, very, very intelligent man. Yes, I am, but I'm not. You know, like I said, I wear t-shirts and I got some off brand polo shirts. I got to go to a thrift store. I've showed you my desk. I'm going to work on it probably today some, but it is kind of like I said, my head injury cannot be proved. And you know, it's kind of like even on YouTube, I'm a loser. The only reason I'm making this vlog is you may feel the exact same way. What can you do about it? I guess get therapy and get away from it, but it's going to scar you for the rest of your life, just to let you know. It will scar you. You know, and I went to talk to the psychiatrist. He's a young guy, got his medical degree in psychiatry. He's not listening to what I'm trying to tell him. I'm truly a mentally disabled man, and I am. You know, I do my vlogs. A lot of people go, "Oh man, I've listened to your blogs. You're so articulate, and you're good at what you do, and you are an intelligent guy." I am a facade. I am fake person. I can make you think I am the most intelligent person in the world. But like I said, when I'm called out, just like Ron Rogers did when I was a substance counselor at Right Turn in North Carolina, he asked me a question. I couldn't answer it. I don't know. And after it was over with, he said, "I don't understand. You've been doing this for a while now, and you can't even answer a simple question about the chronic disease model." I said, "Well, if you give me the script where I can read, I can lecture all day long." I used to lecture a lot to the guys, talking about changing their lives and how to do this and how to do that, how to stay out of prison, how to be able to regrow your life to be the man you want to be. I was good at it. You know, I was real good at it. I'm great at lecturing, and I'm not afraid to lecture. I'll lecture, stand up and lecture to 10,000, 15,000 people, or maybe just one or two. But it is, I've lived a life as a loser, man. I really have. And I've made this vlog before simply because I saw that girl, how damaging this young girl was when she was abused in that house. And I can imagine what she went through. Wouldn't it be nice to have parents that are loving, caring, that bring their children up to reach for their dreams and to be whoever they want to be? Parents that show love to those that maybe you don't love or like, such as trans, gay, lesbian. You know, those people are just as loving as anybody else. You know, when I do my vlogs, I want to give you a realization of what life is when you are a loser, you know. And I think back all my females, and I loved all of them. They were wonderful. But they broke up with me because one girl was messing around with two other guys and me. I didn't know it. I found out about it. She said, I'm going with those guys because they're going somewhere in life. You aren't going anywhere in your life. You're just a dead bum. There's a helicopter flying over. Now, does it bother me? Not necessarily. You know, I've learned the fact that basically I die a loser man, a loser. And I may have that on my urn because I'm going to be cremated. Bob, the loser in life. You know, but what is a success? I often wonder that. What is a success? Is a success getting that sale? And once you get it, you feel like you're all that you're better than everybody else. That makes sense to me. Those people that are bringing in 300, 400, $500,000 a year, all the way up to $1 million. We deem those people successful, but yet you don't know what they do behind closed doors. For me, I'm trying to just walk my life back up, and I really am. And my aid did not come today. It's 12:25. You know, my clothes is okay. I probably can wait till Friday to wash my clothes. But guys, being a loser, that's no big deal. That's no big deal. It's just a label. You know, if you're successful, that's just a label. But pursuing your dreams, think about that for a moment. My dream was to teach voice, which I did work with two or three kids. I don't know if I made any money. I can't remember it now. This was at Pleasant Grove Presbyterian Church. And there's this one girl, she had a crush on me. She was very, very attractive, but she was under 18. Beautiful girl, though, gorgeous girl. I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog to say that if you are a loser, that's okay. See, you first got to say, okay, I am a loser. I admit it. My whole life has been nothing but crap. I'm job hopper. I think I stayed on one job 3 years, which is a major miracle. But this is going out to those people that really feel less than. Those people that have tried so hard to get ahead, but they don't ever get there. They're in relationships with women that don't, they're just saying, screw you, buddy. I'm going to be with somebody. Caroline Levitt, for example. I'm going to be with somebody that's a winner, somebody that's doing what they should do in life. But what should we do in life? That's what I want to know. So, as a human being, I vlog primarily because I don't have anything else better to do with my time. And, being a loser, and I want, what, oh gosh, let me look at I want to look at the definition of this. What is the definition of loser?
Loser means a person or thing that loses or has lost something, especially a game or contest.
A person who accepts defeat with good or bad grace. That makes sense. We won fair and square. They should contain that. A person put in a disadvantage by a particular situation or course of action. Those are children. Children, I'll talk about that, about parenting. This is it right here. A person who fails frequently or is generally unsuccessful in life. That's me. That's me. And it's sad. It is sad. And I feel for you too, because I know somebody out there hears this is going, yeah, I kind of feel less than myself. I never could quite make it in life. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with my daughter. I have texted her quite a bit just to say, oh, wait a minute, she did say something. She said something back to me. So she's okay. Um, the crazy thing is when your health gets weird, you know, and you start wondering about things. But in this vlog, I'm going to end it because, I mean, when I'm talking, people are going, dude, I don't understand where you're going. Where I'm going is if you have been abused physically or mentally, emotionally, if you've been called a loser, a bum, you'll never make it in life, you'll never succeed. The thing I'm going to tell you, parents, is it's your responsibility to raise your child the right way. You know, always love them, care for them, nourish them, raise them up to be a great person in life, a person that's going somewhere, a person that is going to fall in love and have children and be a great, upstanding person. It is that parents, you don't even have a clue of what you're doing with your children. You really don't. If you're not raising them in love and you're not nourishing their dreams and goals and what they want to achieve, then you're less than yourself. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm just a crazy old man. I've got to listen to this. I don't know if it makes any sense. But subscribe to this loser man. Peace.